We back with DC strats for Orochi. This season, all units have minus 30% skill haste, and ground units are buffed by 30% attack and 10% speed. With the addition of Super Fusion Cores, my recommendation is to 120 Kurian, Linjian, and Eve for this season. And if you need to tune some gear for this fight, here's a code. Also, some of you might have noticed, but B-Side in their infinite wisdom has decided to buff the boss. Here is an example. This is from my last Orochi video. This is now, with the same mods and the same gear. I will be going over the mechanics of this fight, some tips and tricks, and I have a few example teams to use this season. All of this will be timestamped, which you can find in the video description, so let's go ahead and check it out. The boss here is a counter ranger who spawns an orb that is actually your ally and you need to keep alive. Other than that, no other adds spawn, and she just moves towards your ship. Guess what, guys? The special conditions got buffed. So now instead of every 10 seconds, every 4 seconds lightning comes down. And do you see that? That is a full tank unit, by the way. That is, look how much damage that's doing to a full tank. Let's see what it does to a DPS. Oh, it's dead. It's already dead. And it's gone. So yeah, that's fun. Pattern Enhance is actually really simple. It just changes the hit checks from 80 hits to 160, effectively doubling them. Boss's basic is just, I don't know what you want to call it, a laser beam, lightning, whatever it is. She just sits there and hammers on your front line. That's all it is. Nothing special about it. The boss's special, indicated by the blue bar underneath her portrait, is this tornado that she sits there and hits your front line with. It will lift them up momentarily and does percentage base HP. Also, it will apply a minus 100% outgoing healing to any supports on the field. From what I understand, it's supposed to be every other special she does that. As well as after she finishes casting it, she gets perfect evasion for 8 seconds. So the boss will initiate a hit check at 70% HP and around 40 to 30% again. Now she's supposed to get damage reduction while she's in this hit check, but because the boss is currently broken, that doesn't happen. Also, if you actually complete the hit check, she'll get stunned. But during the entire hit check, she'll be sitting there throwing down lightning, AoEing down your entire team. This is your orb. There are many like it, but this one is yours. Your orb is your best friend. It is your life. You must protect it as you protect your team. If that orb dies, it obliterates your team. There's really nothing that can survive it. In theory, you could protect yourself with 2 shields, but honestly, we have Chinatsu, and Chinatsu can keep that thing alive without even trying. Here are our stats for nerds. Orochi has 3.7 million HP. 4,000 defense, 4.7k hit, and 1.7k evasion. This means your tanks need 2,522 or more evasion in order to evade. And to get Surefire on the boss, you need 3,321 or more hit. But if you shred by 50%, you only need 1,660 or more. Here's the biggest tip I can give you. Get Kurian Surefire. Make sure he has enough hit that he surefires the boss. I know that he gets the buff Surefire when he gets deployed, but if one unit has Surefire and another unit has perfect evasion, they cancel each other out and it defaults back to the regular hit versus evasion math. So with that being the case, you need, with a 120 Courian or just in general, you need 3,321 or more hit. Now at 120, you only need to change one Brita piece from crit damage to hit. So you can see the other one is on crit damage here, and trust me, 8.8% crit damage is worth giving up for peace of mind. When the hit check starts, your goal should be to burst this boss down as quick as possible. You can skip the hit checks. You can force the boss to go into the next one, canceling out the first one, which will buy you a lot of time, though you will be dealing with the lightning the entire time. Okay, so right off the bat, this is important. Forget about Sane. At 257, you need to deploy your Lynchian right there to take that lightning. That's super important in that position. Glitter gets done. Okay, now on to the rest of the fight. Sane's awesome. Sane jumps, turns the boss around, so now we no longer have to deal with some BS lightning. And instead, you know, Sane just doesn't get to play anymore. After that, we get our Swan out because we need to stack all of the debuffs that we can onto this boss. Now, I know you probably see the Dino there. Dino is just so I don't accidentally over deploy. Now, depending on how you want to play it, you can sit there and wait until after you deploy Eve to play Agnes, or you can deploy it a little earlier, but just be warned that Agnes does actually do some damage and can push you too quickly into the next phase. So after that, we get Courian deployed, we retreat our Sane, so we turn the boss around so that Eve can actually counter something, deploy Dorothy for the buff, and then explode the boss. With our damage number, Eve and Courian doing the most. Agnes does okay damage, but like I said, I deployed her really late so that she wouldn't accidentally push the boss. So for this team, we are running crit damage Vivian with Tempest, and we have a newcomer, Battle Pass Sane, and I am running full CDR. She does not actually need any kind of tank stats. You can try to use some tank stats and maybe take a hit if you absolutely need to, but in all honesty, just go all damage. Lynchian is CDR tank, and thankfully you don't really need that much skill haste. You can get away with even a little less. Now for Agnes, her damage isn't great, but we're gonna sit here and stack as much range damage as we can in anti-ground. Any anti-ranger will be helpful as well. Swan, we just go full CDR tank. She could, she could actually probably go full, CDR damage if you got it, but we're just gonna go CDR tank for safety. Yeah, no Dino. But we have Eve. Eve can be ran on a ton of different things. I'm being cute and funny, and I'm running special damage amp. I haven't actually ran the numbers to figure out which one's better, but you can use anti-ranger set, crit damage set, attack set. It's very flexible. Courian is pretty much somewhat similar. I wouldn't go special damage amp on him. Anti-ranger, attack set, crit damage set. Any of those things with range damage, you're never going to ult, so you don't have to worry about the ulti distance and all that good stuff. And then for Dorothy, we just have some, anti-ranger. She may or may not even get deployed, but might as well have the gear on her just in case we do deploy her. Right off the bat, we're going to start with Sigma, deploying her slightly forward, and we're not deploying Lynchian all the way back, but just right behind Sigma. We don't want Lynchian actually getting stunned in this fight. We want her to get knocked up like that and then get healed by Chinatsu. Now this is really important. At 247, drop the wall behind the boss. That'll redirect a tornado and one of the special condition lightning, which will keep the Sigma tower up a little longer. Well, just one hit longer. After that, we get our Aegea out, and then we just wait for Lin Jian ulti. As soon as this ulti goes off, we want to get our Swan out. Now you'll notice that Chinatsu has not ulted yet. You can ult after you have deployed Seal. That's when the debuff falls off. You can no longer see the debuff on her. Do not use until after Seal has been deployed, and that will get Sigma up at a healthy level. Now you'll notice that I am spamming this wall, because there is a world where that tower can actually live, but this isn't that world. So we need to get that wall down because that tower's about to go, and we do not want our backline getting hit by lightning and getting stunned. Then after that, we deploy the boys, pull out Kurian, ulti on Aegea, give it a second, then drop Dorothy so that we get the maximum time on debuff. Place our Useal's ulti after she applies her third debuff, and then once the evasion's gone, we ulti on Sigma. Now Kurian's going to be our carry, so we want the best gear on him, and then Sigma's our secondary DPS here. For the ship here, we are running Tempest. We are running a crit damage Vivian. For the gear on Sigma, we are running a hybrid build with anti-ranger and incoming healing, but you don't have to do that. You can just run regular tank pieces. The incoming healing's nice, but it's not necessary. For Lin Jian, we are running tank CDR. Same for Chinatsu, this is also tank CDR. And the same for Senjia, which is also just tanky CDR. For Swan, we don't actually need tank CDR, but we do need our highest skill haste set on her. She does actually do decent damage. I say decent, but better than most supports. For Seal, I didn't pay attention. I just used a preset, but I just put a tank set on her. There's some wasted stats here, but generally you want anti-counter res, ground res, crit res, or melee res. And for Kurian, we are running an attack anti-ranger. You can go A speed, go double attack, double, or any type of anti-counter sets if you want. And then for Dorothy, we're running whatever anti-ranger gear we have left over on her. Thanks everyone for watching. I hope this helps you improve your scores this season. I hope you're able to actually beat the boss this season. So, B-side, did you like how we still made your boss a joke? Maybe you haven't noticed, but stat increases are normally not a good way to solve a problem. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. If you're feeling extra special, you can join the Mage Institute by clicking the join button. You can catch me on Discord, link is in the description. And if you want to support this channel, there's a link in the description for that too. As always, I will see you all next time.